All right, we're live here. We're live. We're back in the living room. Welcome back, you Inglorious Bastards and Magnificent. It is again I, Doc Camo, and we're here for my thought of the day. The full thought of the day. Got me some notes again. I put the pen away. I like having that in my hand for some strange reason. It's late. It's about 9:58 p.m. here on a Sunday night. We're trying to get this last podcast brain freeze. Last podcast recorded before I have to go to bed. So tomorrow it's all said and done. I don't have to deal with any of the BS tomorrow. And I can enjoy my Star Wars GURPS game because that's what I do every Monday. I play Star Wars GURPS with my brother and my friend John and my friend Tippy. So yeah, welcome to another episode of That's On Point. Not that episode, but another episode of my Thought of the Day's podcast, Doc's Thought of the Day. And today we're going to talk about, as you can see right there, the importance of knowing your rights and what your rights are. Because a lot of people don't seem to know what their rights are. And we're having an argument about what rights should and shouldn't be. And it's not an argument we can afford right now. We have two disparate realities on what rights are. Some people act like rights are a privilege, and some people act like privileges are a rights. And there is definitely a distinct distinction between the two types of things. I think that there is a distinction, and our rights are inalienable. So you should know what they are. Uh, with that being said, it's the time of the podcast where I'm going to ask you to please help us beat the censorship machine by giving this, smashing that like button, sharing, subscribing, consider donating. The myriad of ways you can fit us down there to actually help us beat the censorship machine and help us make more content for you. Any money that's donated goes directly back into the podcasts to help improve it for you, like to help build studios and such, because we're still building the studio for that some point. Maybe I'll use the studio once it's finished for this, but I kind of like this formal, informal way of doing things. But it's really important because we don't really get paid. We've already got banned off Facebook and Twitter, and we're probably going to get banned off of YouTube, and it's just going to keep going. We're on BitChute, Minds, we're on whatever we can be. We're on everywhere there's an audio platform for That's On Point. We can't upload to every place for this one yet until, well, this one should actually be on its way to every platform because we needed one episode prior in order to submit this to the other platforms, which is weird since we already have a podcast going to those platforms. So, but anyway, it'll be on Spotify, iTunes, Spreaker, Podchaser, where Amazon, wherever you like to partake in your audio visual podcast enjoyment. So, around this time in the last podcast, and we're going to try and do it in everyone, we're going to do a little bit about myself. For all those of you that are just joining in and just tuning in, because a lot of the traffic isn't subscribers or return, it's just new people. I'm Doc Camo, retired sergeant, United States Army, been in both Iraq and Afghanistan, wounded, retired, combat veteran. I like talking, I like paying attention to the world, so I figured instead of just learning about the world, I can help share what I've learned with you guys. And because nobody's really doing that anymore. We have people like just believing lies, and it's nobody's really conversing. Nobody's really sharing the truth. Nobody's really teaching people what their rights are. We all want this socialist utopia mess that we can't have. So for those of you that have been joining in and have learned a little bit about me last time, I want to give you the story about when I was in Iraq. So when I was in Iraq, I had to go back to my hooch, which is what we call the little freezer thing that we turned into an apartment. Yeah, it was like one of those walk-in freezers, like, and it wasn't even like, because it was so hot, like even the freezer, it had to be walk-in freezer. Like you open the door, it's like getting punched in the face by the heat, but it's still not like frozen on the inside. It's crazy. But I had to go back to my hooch to get something. And on the way back from my hooch with said item going back towards the parking lot, the parking lot was out in the middle of nowhere. We got rocketed And now I probably should have dove to the ground and like took cover and shit, but I was out in the middle of nowhere and I just froze because I was like, what am I gonna do if it gets me? It gets me. It's coming right down on top of me, and it like blew up way. I didn't even get like hit or anything, but like I froze for a couple of seconds. Like I dropped trow and was like, chatted. It's just like freaking out for a second. But I ended up living, surviving that one, and here I am talking to you, and just sharing some more experiences or some stories because it's better for you guys to like learn from me if you really know how to do that. Because like I gotta give you guys reasons to want to listen to me. You gotta know about me. Some people want know how I'm credible or whatever. And well, I was a former government employee. I know how to embrace the suck, and I know how the green weenie works.